Good morning, world. Monday here. I was sitting here this morning in meditation and was just processing through some things I was transmuting last night with spirit. And I felt like, feels like these are sometimes the downloads that should be shared because they're probably shared experiences happening across the collective, you know? And it was like some deep stuff. I've been working diligently on myself and on really shedding the layers that have been created by expectation or ego or any of the things that make us close ourselves off from one another. And this is deep because has to do with my relationship with men. I was watching. I love the things that trigger this. It's amazing. Anyways, I was watching a season of Love is Blind, Habibi, on Netflix. Not promoting Netflix, not necessarily promoting the show, just, felt like something I was called to watch. And there was a man that I was immediately attracted to who was also quite obviously very toxic. And I have been working on shedding a pretty heavy relationship in my life with someone who showed up in a lot of very similar ways. And it's just like, I had to just finally admit to myself that there was something about that aspect of being with someone who felt like dangerous was exciting, and acknowledge that attracted a certain frequency into my life. And so I was just sort of like, okay, yeah, like, wow. The wisdom of the body is so amazing in what it tells us. And if we listen and if we just receive what it's telling us, we can get so much out of it. So I was able to put some pieces together. Because I should mention, it'll probably come up a lot on this channel, but I am fascinated and passionate about birth and more specifically physiologic birth, but we can get that's a whole other conversation for a whole other day. But it's made me really deep dive into the physiologic steps of birth and how they are sort of the imprinting program on the human being in a way that makes such perfect sense and fully aligns with nature. And then when you divert or pervert or distort or manage, or as benign as just doing your job, if you mess with that portal, it has an effect. And I've been able to sort of piece together what happened in my portal based off of how my physical body experiences life. Like, I just kind of have found the puzzle pieces that equal me. And then I get to choose, like, oh, well, that's a puzzle piece that I picked up because of this imprint and that program and this system and this belief that someone told me that I, for some reason, really clung on to. And I can just take those pieces away and make new pieces. I can do whatever I want with the tapestry that's me, that's my life. Ha. So so yeah, so here's what I figured out. I am a child birthed in the 80s, the early 80s. So I was birthed in Colorado, Swedish Medical Hospital. Like weirdly the same hospital that I watched my mom pass away in a couple years ago, which is another heavy story for another day. But like, this is the thing. I was talking about my weird corner of the universe that I'm going to carve out here. And I think it's just about me being my authentic self and sharing what's going on in life. Because I think we need to get more comfortable just sharing, like, and connecting with each other authentically. It's so the medicine we need. Oh my goodness. So the medicine we need. I can feel it, so I'm just gonna do this. Anyways. Where was I? Oh yeah, okay. So, daddy issues. I'm not saying I've solved them forever, but it looks a little something like this. The pieces I've put together look a little something like this. So a child of a very typical Western medical hospital birth is a product of not receiving what's known as the golden hour, which is the time in which the nervous system learns how to co-regulate with the mother. And that happens a lot more often these days. I think this is happening because people have learned how important skin-on-skin contact is. But I'm talking about those of us who like missed that beautiful little window or, you know, didn't quite receive that. And like, you know, if you know, you know who you are. Like, the body feels these things. And so if you're lighting up or having any kind of reaction, I would say maybe this resonates, you know? Don't take my word for it. Try things on for yourself. Really, really, I want to, more than anything else, just like impart the piece of wisdom that I've learned, which is like trust yourself and trust your body. And yeah, you deserve to feel safe in the world. For sure. So, yeah, my first feelings in this world were a sense of unsafety. I was immediately separated from my parents, like, and this is very typical, very standard, you know, was given all of the, you know, initial diagnostic tests. If you ever see how newborns are treated in a typical hospital setting, it's actually very jarring. Like, I don't know what you would ever treat in that level of like, anyways, I digress. And not because this man didn't love me or didn't want to be connected to me, but because the way the system was created immediate separation, which to the psyche of a newborn is such a fracture of where is my mom? Where I was just surrounded by this, you know, pink glow of womb. And now I'm in this place with like itchy fabric, like it feels so foreign. And instead of having what was known as a golden hour, which is really the time that the baby understands, like, okay, I was in and now I'm out, but it is okay. And the mother can massage the vernix into the baby's skin because it's so good for the baby's skin. And the baby can feel her heartbeat and smell her smell and know that it is safe and okay. And because it feels safe and okay, its nervous system has calmed down and can now contemplate, oh, this is okay. Well, now we're here. Now what? You know, and can get curious and start exploring, looking for the breast and naturally breastfeeding. It's like so beautiful. It's such a beautiful dance that nature has created. And so it's so important that that doesn't get interrupted. And it's also important to acknowledge that when it gets interrupted, it is kind of fucked up and it can create some issues. And I feel like my journey has been about sort of just tapping into this body wisdom until I found the lock for the key, or the key for the lock, or whatever, however you want to say it. So this long ramble is to say this. I figured out, why it felt more comfortable to have to chase a man's energy or seek their approval or seek their just attention, because I never even felt that as a child. And so it's been the thing I've been seeking for forever. And that was a deep thing to realize, and a deep thing to just acknowledge and witness in myself. And it's in these witnessings of myself that I can literally feel like freedom return to a space in my body that had felt really constricted. And it feels like I've done something that's going to have a deep effect on my body and my experience of life from here forward. Because like I said, now I've found what made those puzzle pieces kind of wonky and not really working for me, and attracting and being attracted to things that felt more dangerous. And I think the other thing about it is, it's going to be fucked up, but I can tell the truth about myself. I like honesty. I like truth tellers. And sometimes it's easier to believe someone who's rude because it's so jarring. But why would you be rude unless you're wanting to tell the truth? And so I think that's something that I've had a weird, maybe distorted attraction to, is people who can behave in ways that I absolutely consider inconsiderate and inappropriate in how to treat one another. And I don't know, does that make me complicit because I was witness to it, but didn't, I don't know. I feel like I spoke up when I saw people trying to create disharmony, in the world. I do that with my father now. And I've done that with my partner in the past. But yeah, I maybe tolerate it / like enjoy it. Maybe because I feel like I can trust what that person is saying is honest. And then it kind of maybe goes into like some sort of like a fucked up energy of wanting to become their favorite, which I realized last night I've watched my dad do. And so, yeah, so many puzzle pieces came together for me. And I don't know if this is going to resonate with anybody at all, but I just feel like I said, like, I don't know, if it makes it easier for someone else to just witness themselves in their own moment of like, what am I doing? And just like be gentle with yourself, and just get curious and just ask questions instead of judging yourself or being harsh with yourself. Just say like, okay, wow, we're really attracted to that toxic man. What's going on there? Why do we think that is? I think we just, thought we just said goodbye to these things and have understood the weight of the impact of them, because that is very real. But it doesn't mean the pattern left my body. And so I think it's making itself known once more. so I can take the moment to, yeah, go through this process. So if you were witness to that, thank you so much. That's wild. But I'm also just in a very like innocent place of, I'm sure this is gonna make it across whoever needs to hear it. And I think that's really cool, and like sending you so much love wherever you are in the world. Um yeah, so important for you to know that you are cared about, and this life can be rough, but it can be fun. We get to choose. So sending you love wherever you are.